If everyone can hear me, I'm going to ditch the microphone as well for this part. My message is pretty simple. If you haven't been voting, if you're disillusioned with politics and our local politicians, or you have that sense of apathy, or you're apathetic towards them, and someone's phoning me, sorry about that, don't reward the people who have let you down in the past. It's pretty simple. This election is an opportunity for change. Change in terms of unionist representation in South Belfast, but also an opportunity for change in who represents this area at Westminster. Because what we've had is 18 MPs from Northern Ireland. 5 of them don't even bother going. Well, my party sought out 6 months ago to try and address that, and we're very hopeful that Tom Elliott will win for Manor South Tyrone. What we have is an MP for South Belfast who votes 1 in 4 times in the House of Commons. He's got the 635th worst record of any MP in Parliament, and that's including the 5 who don't attend. And that's not good enough for our area. And like Bob, I live in South Belfast. Yet he claimed 182,000 in expenses in his last year claim. This is Alistair MacDonald. So I think there's something that we all agree on. There needs to be change in South Belfast at this election. Martin O'Muir is not going to win. It's either going to be a unionist or it's going to be MacDonald. Maybe not for another 5 years, because it might be back again in September, depending on what the shape of the next Westminster government is. And I believe that we, the Ulster Unionist Party, offer the best prospect for that change. And I, as the Ulster Unionist candidate in South Belfast, offer the best prospect for that change. Because you're all speaking to your friends, you're all speaking to your neighbours, and you know how people are feeling. You know the people that have disappointed. You know of your friends and neighbours who they're saying have disappointed them in the past. And you know the direction of travel. It's not about what the voting pattern was in 2010. It's about what the voting pattern's going to be on the 8th of May. There's nothing worse, and I've mentioned it already, to hear on a doorstep is that Republicans are better represented by their politicians than Unionists. And my absolute commitment is to change that. And that means hard work in the ground, and that means the level of professional constituency representation that you're all absolutely entitled to. It's not something you should be saying, oh, well done for that. It's something you should be demanding, expecting, and entitled to. And that's what we've got to bring post the 8th of May in South Belfast. But there's also one other important issue, and that's what's happening. You're not going to tell me in a minute yet? No? Okay. Fine. And that's what's happening at Westminster, where there has been mismanagement for 4 years at Stormont, where there are huge financial pressures on the Northern Ireland funding, block grant and so on. We need 18 strong voices who understand what bringing down the deficit means, why that doesn't mean the national debt's going to be cut, and why you can manage a national debt as a proportion of GDP and ensure that the spending profile on health, on education, the things that matter and directly trickle down to Northern Ireland are maintained at a high level in England and Wales. And we also need someone who's in the House of Commons saying, we want to ensure that when there's money being spent on HS2, 40 billion, when there's money being spent in Crossrail in London, billions of pounds again, that Northern Ireland gets a proportion of that infrastructure fund. Because those aren't delivered through conventional departments within Westminster, and Northern Ireland, I'm getting 1 minute now, doesn't get. It's automatic knock on. We want tax smart for transport in Northern Ireland. We want better tax breaks for working families. We don't want anyone who's choosing to return to work or go into work find that they're not able to do so because the cost of childcare is so prohibitive. And we want, like people will have experienced today, the competition for nursery places to disappear. because we want everyone to be entitled to that. And those are the changes we need to make. And yes, it starts at Westminster. That's where we secure the sufficient funding. And then we need to manage it better at Stormont. But as I said, you raised the issue about broken promises, Norman. I'm a politician who will not make promises I won't keep. And if I don't believe I can keep it, I won't promise it. And that's good for this area, it's good for Northern Ireland, and it'll be good in the future in Westminster. Thank you.